Now, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to open up your browser and go to www.alvis.net. And as you can see here, we see the link for Alvis Audio. Let me tell you a little bit about Alvis Audio. Alvis Audio is a C# audio library that enables C# and VB.NET developers to add audio capabilities to different .NET applications. The library allows C# and VB.NET developers to create applications that play, including mix sound, record and convert uncompressed or compressed audio data. You can encode and decode dialogic.vox format data. Now, once you've downloaded the Alvis.audio component library, let's go ahead and open up Visual Studio.net and set a reference to the Alvis.audio DLL. Once we've set a reference, we can now start taking a look at the form that I've created. In this form, I have 3 labels, 3 text boxes, and 4 buttons. Let's go ahead and open up to go to the code view so that I can show you actually how this is working. So you see the first button I have in the click event loading up load audio file 1. The second ellipse is basically going to take us to load audio file 2, which basically I'm setting the second text box equal to the open file dialog file name. Okay, and now let's go to our third button, and here we're going to set the output file name, and that's going to be basically the file name that I have, the first audio file and the second audio file, and I'm going to use those, concatenate them together to create our join file name. Okay, so again, I'm using a folder browser dialog object, and I set 2 variables, audio file name 1, audio file name 2. I get those paths without the extension, and then I concatenate them using the folder browser dialog selected path plus the audio file name 1 and the audio file 2 name. Okay, and that gives me the resulting file name will be, and in this case it will be underscore join.wave, because we're going to use wave files in this example. Our last button is the join audio files button. Let's go ahead and open up that to go to its click event. Okay, you see the first method that I'm calling is join audio files. Now, the join audio files method is where the joining of the files takes place. Our first line, we're using a file stream object, and we're taking the txt audio 1 text box, the text property, and we're passing that into a file stream. We're next going to create an instance of the Alvis.audio wave reader object called oWaveReader1, and we're going to read the file stream object. We set a pointer in our next line and set that equal to the oWaveReader1, or the wave reader object. We're reading that format so that we have a reference to what the audio format is. Now, the next line, we're taking a byte array called WaveReaderData, and we're going to use the oWaveReader1 object, and we're going to read the data and pass that into our first byte array. Then we're going to close the object. We're going to do the exact same thing for our second file name, or our wave file, with the exception of we're not going to use an audio format pointer because we already have it in when we read the first audio file. Lastly, we're going to use a file stream object, and we're going to use the txt output file name text property. Next, we're going to use the alvis.audio.wavewriter. Okay, and we're going to create an instance name called oWaveWriter, and we're going to get ready to set that output stream up to write to it. In the next line, you see where it says oWaveWriter.wave write data. We're using the write data method to write the first byte array, which is wave reader data, which contains our first wave file. And we're going to write that first wave reader data out to our file stream, or the output file. Then we're going to do the exact same thing for our second wave file, which is the wave reader data 2, using the wave writer write data method. And then we simply close the O wave writer object, and then we're done. At this point, our wave files are joined together. Let's go ahead and fire up the debugger, and let's step through this. Let's set our first audio file, beat sample. The second one, we're going to use the, night sound sample. And then we're going to set our output file name. Okay. Now let's click the Join Audio Files button. And once we click the Join Audio Files button, we're going to get the Alvis.audio trial version reminder dialog. And this is just reminding us that we need to purchase a valid copy of the Alvis.audio library. Now let's open up our Join Audio Files and listen to it in Windows Media Player. There's our first sample. And there's our second sample. Perfectly joined together. So head on over to www.alvis.net. Download the Alvis.audio component library. And I think you'll be very satisfied with how it performs, what it enables you to do with audio, and you'll be able to implement this into your next audio project. This is Michael Thompson with Play Heavy Incorporated. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and stay tuned because in the next video of this series, I'm going to show you how to take an MP3 file and convert it into a WAV file using the Alvis.audio component library from alvis.net. Have a great day. And by the way, leave me a comment.